we are all part of an artist community to a degree.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as a comedian, I don't go to comedy shows anymore because I can't watch it like I used to when I was younger. I'm not sitting there laughing like ha ha ha. I'm sitting there going, it's really fucking good.
This nigga's the Joker. I see the Joker do that in the movie.
Yeah, right. Because you watch it at a certain level. We talked about this last time I was here. At a certain time, a certain level, you're watching it different. There's a difference between connoisseurs and consumers. Consumers are watching it strictly from an entertainment standpoint. I stayed out of your comments in the video. I stay out of. I don't go to the fucking comments.
Yeah, leave the comments alone.
I had 1 or 2 sent to me.
Give me all the comments.
Super clear that some of the things I was saying was going over certain people's heads. When he said he don't listen to music from an entertainment standpoint, I stopped listening to him. Bro, I'm not supposed, like, he's not doing that from a comedy standpoint.
Exactly.
None of us are listening to music at this level purely for entertainment. You can be entertained by it, but part of the job does not mean just sitting there snapping your fingers and enjoying it.
Be
and if you're going into a
well, you're a student of it at one point.
And that's not, you're not when you're.
But that goes back to what I was saying about that Kendrick song. It's because that's
you know what scares me about that? I didn't even mean to cut you. You know what scares me about that? The thing you said about Kendrick, what really scares me about that is I picture MCs who aren't as talented demanding the same level of space. Because you said you let Kendrick get away with it.
But you shouldn't be scared because I would never.
It's not even you I'm worried about.
No, but I would never. I would never. I did because, here's the backstory. It was a hard decision. When I was listening to the verse before I decided to cut it, I was like, this is dope. And I was thinking maybe I put out an extended version later.
You got me thinking, because my verse was 24 bars.
Back to this.
Yo, what happened?
Back to this.
And we're back. But I'm sorry. But let me tell you, that was a callback.
So we on the same page.
Right.
I got a verse out there somewhere too, nigga. Don't do. My shit was supposed to make it on love.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah,
but it's like you said, like what you're saying is correct. You do A&R work. And you've done all different types of jobs in this industry. So what you're saying is correct. But for me, what I learned in that space is that could serve me in some ways, but I had to for me to survive creatively, I had to move away from that. I had to actively get back to, oh no, I can't think about it in that way at all.
No. For you to be the creative, and for you to make a creative decision versus a business one, which is what we basically described. There's records who are formatted for radio, there's records that are formatted for the ladies, there's records format.
Right.
For you to say, okay, I did 16, he did 16, I'm gonna let this kid breathe with 24. That's a creative decision. I'm never mad at a purely creative decision, especially when it comes out as good as it does. They can be hit or miss.
Yeah.
But if the basis for you making the decision was creative, in a space where we're supposed to be creative, I'm 100% for it, whether it hits or miss. I'm glad you gave it a shot. My issue, as the guy with 7 email addresses, becomes what happens when the one creative decision, when the exception to the rule become food for the followers and they try to make it the norm, i.e. Jay-Z confessing that he doesn't write his rhymes down. And now everybody stops writing their rhymes down, and I get flooded with trash music because no one wants to write their shit down like they should, because Jay told you that he don't write his rhymes down. So him being the best, nobody listens to that objectively. Here comes everybody else. On this note, TALIB KWELI, who's seen as one of a top tier MC and who's respected by guys like Jay-Z and respected by all the lyricist lovers, he let Kendrick do it.
It's Kendrick though.
But nobody thinks like that. Everybody thinks that they're the exception to the rule when it happens.
Let's all admit one thing: the exception to the rule becomes the rule.
Which becomes my problem, because
the exception to the rule proves that the rule exists.
That the rule exists. Or the exception proves why he's the exception. And most people don't look at it like that. Most of these casual music makers, these dudes who flood my shit, they don't look at it like that.
Yasin Bey says all the time, he says, they say to him, Michael Jordan, he's Michael Jordan because he was in the field and he was shooting all night in North Carolina. His father did this and he went through all this training. Yeah, all that's true, but he's also Michael Jordan.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, you know what? On this topic, I'm just gonna quote Andre 3000, who I think you should do a versus with, and Rick Ross, who you shouldn't do a versus with. And, they put out a song a while back called "When 16 Ain't Enough."
Yeah. Love
And
that
you know
song.
what? He said it, and he said, sometimes I can't
16,
fit, right,
yeah. What I want to say in 16
I can't
bars.
fit my whole life into a 16.
Yeah, but that's 3 stacks, man. Like,
Hey.
please, when y'all listening to this, don't
Listen,
think that you
listen
should-
to the room, right?
let's not forget.
He's like,
This is
hold on.
This is
Please.
self-preservation.
Right, he's like, that's not, I ain't no
First of
shit.
all,
He's concerned about his emails. That's what's going on.
Right, he's like,
Listen.
I'm not supposed to be.
Listen,
You don't have to sit.
wait,
Listen, I
which
don't
one?
judge
This was a
self-preservation.
very popular thing.
If you had to sit through some of the 24s that I've had to sit through
believe
and
it.
really listen to them and
Hey,
take them
That nigga's
seriously,
like, keep it to
Hold
16.
on, time
nigga.
out. See, you gotta do comedy. You know why? Because you only gotta sit through 24. Sit through 5 minutes of this shit straight.
I refuse.
Sit through this whole 5 minutes
not.
of fire and brimstone.
But this whole thing is kind of like a Wu-Tang format. Wu-Tang, like, if you was getting off, you was getting off. Win awards. Capadonna, you want to rap for 50 bars? Go ahead.
But you know what?
I mean? Like,
Look who
RZA
he's
came
talking
in.
about.
Wait,
Being a
you gotta
pro-black
remember
teacher.
that
Exactly.
the
And
RZA
boom.
came in,
that didn't even sound like the end.
and I don't want to
They
say
have songs where Ghostface is still rapping and
And
it's
the song
faded
ends.
out.
Look who we
That's my
talking
shit.
You know what I'm
about.
saying? Like,
Look who we talking
but you gotta
about.
remember-
Monumental, groundbreaking. The Wu logo is
McDonald's.
If it's not as famous,
As
it's more
McDonald's.
famous than the Rolling Stones logo.
It's
like
more famous.
musically,
It's the best
it's
logo of all
as
time.
famous
Okay.
as
And
McDonald's.
Wu-Tang is a language.
we talking about
Thank
the wrong thing because
No,
I feel
no,
like
I got you.
I feel like the issue here is when did 16 become the format?
The 16 is
The
already the
radio.
format.
no.
The radio.
My issue is the exception versus the rule. I understand you wanting to get away with it. Not everybody has the skill to pull it off, and creatively you shouldn't try. Some artists' egos will carry them past the point of good common sense.
Right.
And that becomes my
I
problem.
can hear him right now.
on a hip hop beat.
But you're not saying no names, so
Wait,
that's,
time out.
we
The
gotta
way-
move on from the
Wait,
south.
back.
The way
I
they
can
do
hear
it.
him
You
right
don't
now.
say no names,
I can
bro.
say names. You wouldn't
Here's
know.
how-
I
here's how-
I want to know.
Wait, here's how he's replying to the email.
You wouldn't know
Who is he
Wait,
talking
here's how he's replying to the email.
Who
Your
hit his
first
email?
16 weren't good.
And
Those
got
last
this
eight
man
were
all
good.
disgruntled. I need to know who got you disgruntled, bro. Like, who was it?
I mean,
People that never
yeah,
came
like,
out, right?
yeah. These aren't people. These are people who I've worked with and told them, listen, this won't work
Who?
for this reason. You're dragging this
You
out.
gonna stop this shit.
You turned into an outlaw.
You wouldn't know if I said the names. Like I went, and I'm not gonna blow him up so he gets more fame coming back talking about MECC's a hater.
But he might need to hear this.
Oh, he heard it.
No, he's not gonna
He
know.
said he's
Nobody's
watching.
gonna alert him.
No,
He
I
might not
said-
know.
He said to me right now, talking about,
Listen,
he talking about me.
I believe in interventions, and sometimes you
passed
gotta
that
be
point.
like,
He's done.
look,
We passed the
homie,
point.
this is what it is, homie.
Don't be
You know
mad.
what I mean?
UPS is higher.
Hey, sometimes you might be a better UPS man than a rapper.
No, listen.
It's a thing.
My man Big Ill and Mac, right, from Ill and Out Scratch.
Right.
When I met Big Ill and Out wasn't supposed to be a group.
Come
They just kind
around
of got
now,
lumped together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Big Ill,
Up to no good.
occupation, nigga was a Wall Street banker. We used to go pick this nigga up in the suit. Him, my man, it was him. We used to run him and Pudgy. Remember Pudgy the Fat
Pudgy
Man?
the fat
Yeah,
bastard.
Right.
wow.
It was us. That was right. We used to run around. Ill used to come from the fucking bank and change from suit to hip hop on the way to the venue.
Up to no good.
I know what that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, word.
Facts. We'll get into that.
We'll get into
Shout
that.
out to Blackstone LLC.
Wow, that just happened.
Right.
Yeah, that just happened.
That just happened.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm-
This is a
Nigga
whole
used to do
story.
contracting in Iraq.
No,
This nigga said Blackstone.
no, they're one of the biggest
nigga's a
investment banking
mercenary.
firms in the
Different
world.
company. Different company. Different.
Blackstone is the
company.
biggest one of the biggest investment banking firms in the world.
You used to be a banker, Hoffa?
I used to work there. So I'm gonna say
Like
we
Mel.
can get into this later.
We got hold on,
We can get
son.
into this later. It was called office service, but we can get into
He
this
said
later.
office service.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.